Every breeze that touches a Linaria Fairy Bouquet garden feels like it's carrying whispers from a fairy tale meadow. Delicate, colorful, and alive with charm. If you've ever dreamed of a garden that looks like it's been painted by fairies, where hundreds of tiny flowers sway together like a watercolor masterpiece, then the Linaria Fairy Bouquet mix is your dream come true. Known affectionately as toadflax, this petite and cheerful flower mix has captured the hearts of American gardeners for its delicate beauty, easy nature, and vibrant range of colors that bloom like living confetti, originating from the Mediterranean but naturalized across the United States. Linaria is an annual flower that's adored for its simplicity and charm. The Fairy Bouquet mix brings a cascade of lilacs, pinks, purples, yellows, and blues that seem to float on thin, airy stems. Each tiny flower resembles a miniature snapdragon, forming clusters that dance lightly in the wind. It's no wonder why this flower is often called the painter's wildflower. Growing Linaria Fairy Bouquet mix in the USA is both rewarding and effortless. Whether you're gardening in California's sunny valleys, the cooler Pacific Northwest, or the East Coast's spring gardens, Linaria adapts beautifully. It thrives in full sun and light, well-drained soil, making it a perfect fit for wildflower borders, cottage gardens, or even containers on balconies. When you plant Linaria, you're not just growing flowers, you're creating an ecosystem. Bees, butterflies, and pollinators love its delicate blooms, which continuously produce nectar throughout spring and summer. The Fairy Bouquet mix doesn't just bring color, it brings life, motion, and joy. To begin, choose a sunny location. Linaria loves bright sunlight. 6 or more hours daily will bring out the best color and most blooms. While it tolerates partial shade, full sun makes the difference between pretty and spectacular. The soil doesn't need to be rich. In fact, Linaria thrives in poor to moderately fertile soil, provided it drains well. Clay, heavy, or soggy areas aren't ideal. This plant dislikes wet feet. If you're unsure about drainage, mix in coarse sand or perlite before sowing. A slightly sandy soil texture is perfect. The beauty of Linaria Fairy Bouquet mix lies in its simplicity. You can sow the seeds directly outdoors. Wait until the danger of frost has passed and the soil has warmed to around 6 degrees FF. In most of the United States, this means early to mid-spring. Rake the soil lightly. Scatter the tiny seeds evenly across the surface and gently press them into place. Do not cover the seeds with soil. They need light to germinate. Water gently using a fine mist to avoid washing them away. Within 10 to 14 days, you'll see tiny seedlings appear, reaching for the sun. Keep the soil lightly moist until plants are established, then reduce watering to once or twice a week. Linaria prefers to dry slightly between watering sessions. Overwatering can lead to root rot, especially in humid regions. Once your Fairy Bouquet mix begins to grow, you'll notice how naturally they fill in spaces. Each plant grows about 10–15 inches tall, forming slender, branching stems topped with clouds of colorful blooms. In just 2 months, your garden can transform into a vibrant carpet of fluttering petals. Linaria blooms profusely from late spring through mid-summer, depending on your region. In cooler northern climates, it may even continue blooming into early fall. The key is deadheading, removing spent flowers regularly to encourage more blooms. This simple step extends the flowering season dramatically and keeps your garden looking fresh. For gardeners who love low-maintenance beauty, Linaria is a dream. It requires minimal feeding. Too much fertilizer causes leggy growth and fewer flowers. If you wish, add a light dose of balanced flower fertilizer when seedlings are 3 to 104 inches tall. And that's all. Linaria Fairy Bouquet mix pairs beautifully with other wildflowers. Try planting them alongside baby's breath, poppies, or cornflowers for a soft, meadow-like aesthetic. Their fine stems and delicate texture contrast perfectly with bolder flowers, adding depth and movement. In containers, Linaria works wonderfully too. Choose shallow pots with drainage holes. Fill them with sandy potting mix and scatter seeds across the surface. They'll sprout quickly and bloom abundantly, making your patio or balcony look like a miniature wildflower field. One of the most charming things about Linaria is its self-seeding ability. If left to mature, the plants drop seeds that sprout the following spring without any effort from you. It's like a gift from your garden to its future self. In many U.S. regions, Linaria naturalizes easily, reappearing year after year like a loyal friend. While it's drought-tolerant once established, Linaria appreciates occasional watering during dry spells. The best watering practice is deep but infrequent watering. Let the soil dry out between sessions to encourage strong roots. Pests rarely bother Linaria. Its fine leaves and light structure make it unattractive to most common garden insects. Occasionally, aphids or slugs may appear early in the season, but they're easy to manage with organic remedies like neem oil spray or crushed eggshell barriers. If you want continuous color, consider sowing Linaria seeds in succession every 3 weeks during spring. This staggered planting ensures fresh blooms all season long. In colder climates, you can start seeds indoors 6 to 8 weeks before the last frost. Use shallow trays with seed starting mix. Press seeds lightly into the surface and keep them under bright light or near a sunny window. Once seedlings are a few inches tall, harden them off before transplanting outdoors. Linaria Fairy Bouquet mix isn't just a garden plant, it's an emotional experience. Each bloom looks like a brushstroke, delicate yet vibrant. When the morning light hits their petals, you can almost feel the joy they bring to nature itself. Watching them dance in the breeze feels like stepping into a fairy tale. In American home gardens, Linaria is gaining popularity for sustainable and aesthetic landscaping. It supports pollinators, requires little water, and provides long, lasting color. For eco-friendly gardeners, it's a symbol of beauty that thrives naturally. The mix of colors, from soft lilacs to sunny yellows and dreamy purples, means that every plant looks unique. Together, they create a natural mosaic that changes daily as blooms open and fade. If you want to attract butterflies, this is one of the best mixes you can grow. Monarchs, swallowtails, and bees frequent Linaria patches, turning your garden into a living sanctuary. As the season ends, you allow some plants to dry and drop seeds naturally. The following spring, you'll find new growth emerging, often with slightly different color patterns. Nature's own creativity at work. Caring for Linaria Fairy Bouquet mix is a joy. It doesn't demand much, only sunlight, space, and occasional water. In return, it gifts you waves of pastel beauty and a touch of wild magic. For gardeners who believe that every bloom tells a story, Linaria is the perfect companion. It represents the quiet joy of simplicity, the power of small things creating a grand scene. So this season, scatter the seeds of color and light. Let your garden become a place where fairies might land, where bees hum happily, and where beauty grows naturally with every sunrise. Plant your Linaria Fairy Bouquet mix today and watch your garden bloom into a living fairy tale, a soft, colorful symphony that only nature could compose.